What's something you've done purely out of spite? After I kicked out my housemates for a myriad of bullshit, I was happy to let the rent they hadn't paid go, and renegotiate the rest of the money they owed me. All up, they owed me $4,500, and had 3 months to pay it back. I was happy to extend the deadline to help them, given their low-income struggling situation. But the day they came back for their stuff, my fiancé and I were supposed to be out of the house for the day to be out of their way. The night prior, they arranged with my fiancé what time they'd arrive. They chose to arrive an hour and a half early, park the truck on the driveway, and yell at my fiancé for messing up the plan until she ran back inside in tears. Shortly after, a police car arrived. They'd called the cops on me, and it turned out their endgame was to get me to respond with violence so I'd get arrested. The cops were super cool, told them to move the truck, and told them not to pull this shit again. So, the next day, I got my lawyer on the phone. We ended up having enough to press charges of trespassing, contract fraud, and I could sue for slander. We used it to force them to pay the rent and owed money back within the 3 months. One of them, who started all of this, had to drop out of college to start working full-time to pay it back by the deadline. They said they were losing sleep over the stress and were couch surfing until they found a place to live. When they did find a place to rent, I tracked the address, called the rental agency and told them all the shitty things they did while living here. Not only did they get their lease canceled before they could move in, but they lost their deposit for lying on the form about previous rentals. They ended up paying me back on time, which I was kind of disappointed about because I wanted to keep pouring it on. Now again, at first I was willing to let this all go, and ease their transition away from my place as much as possible. Then they made my socially anxious Asperger's fiancé, who was actually the only one on their side through this whole thing, upset and obsessive about the whole ordeal. Ain't nobody fucks with my woman. Ain't nobody.